No way. I think Sevilla is top 4. Absolutely not. There's no way.
But like, if you're looking at the overall quality of the league, the Bundesliga overall is better than La Liga.
Spanish football is way better.
He is.
I'm selling Iniesta.
Whoa!
I'm benching Modric and I'm starting. It's a start.
Crazy.
I'm starting
Zizou
Zidane.
number 1 easily.
I think everyone's starting Zizou, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I'm starting Iniesta. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
I think it's Mbappe.
Yeah,
Comes to
Mbappe
Madrid.
comes.
It's gotta be him.
Vinny, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga. Am I thinking of Goulet, Frank Garcia. Like, it's just those 8.
That's
I
pretty
feel like
pretty good.
The thing is, though,
I think it might be Madrid.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Footy Culture podcast. And I'm David, aka Quinto, and I'm here joined by Sarah, Matthews, Real Madrid correspondent over here, Fran, and the guys behind the table over there. You can't see them, but it's James, Spatty, and Daniel.
What up, what up? Here
What's
to
up?
talk La Liga season preview.
Welcome, everyone. Yes, so this is the La Liga season preview, and let's just get right into it. Why not, right? Real Madrid,
Yes.
Barcelona faced each other a couple days
About a week ago, yeah.
ago. And what was the score of that game?
3-0.
3-2.
Sorry, say it one more time.
3-0 Barca.
Always on these US tours, Barca smack Madrid, bro.
I was going into that game, did not think that was going to be a 3-0 game.
Really, eh?
No, not at all. First of all, that midfield that they have, and just the fact that it's always going to be a tough game against Madrid.
Always.
It's always a tough game. And I thought it was going to be a close game. They go 1-1, 2-1, but 3-0 was like, I did not expect that.
I kind of had a feeling that Barca was going to come out on top just because of the sole fact, like, Madrid in friendlies against Barca, like the El Clasico in friendlies, I think it's like a 15% win rate for Real.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like they never beat Barca in friendlies.
But do you guys take these games seriously? Because I was having a conversation with my coworker about this. Because I obviously watched the whole
Yeah.
game. I was super excited. Barca played so well, and obviously new players coming in, Ilkay Gundogan. I want to see how they play. But we have to remember this is a friendly. This is in the United States, and he was like, "You can't call that an El Clasico." And I was like, "But where do you draw the line?" Like, I still think as a Barca fan, I'm gonna watch every game Barca play Madrid. I don't care
absolutely.
if it's in
100%.
the Bernabeu, it's in Camp Nou, it's in a Champions League final in Madrid, or if it's a for fun game in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it because I think as the fan of either side, you know how much that means. But he was like, but these international friendly games, you can't take seriously. Like, for example, I know you're a Dortmund fan. Were you watching that Chelsea game last night, in full, heat about it? Or was it kind of just it doesn't really matter because it doesn't mean anything?
Not really full heat. I just wanted to see the new guys play, to be honest. I didn't care really about seeing the players that I've already seen play. I just wanted to see how the new signings kind of gelled. But
I understand where you come from, where you can say that, where people can say that, but it's El Clasico, and it's not just the fans thinking that it's just a game. It's the players too going into the game saying
Yeah.
this is not just a friendly
And
game.
especially the new signings too.
Right?
This is the biggest game in football.
Exactly.
100%.
Right?
But the players feel it as well. It's not just a friendly for them.
No.
You can see how they're playing Araujo. Everyone was playing strong.
Didn't Toni
Militao.
Kroos come out and say it doesn't
Yeah.
matter when we play Barca, I want to smash?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just
Always.
it's in their blood, and especially people who've been there for so long, like Modric, Kroos, Courtois. Those players play their heart and soul out every game.
And I bet you that's the message, to the young and the new signings and the young players in the room. Every time you play this team, same with Barca as well. You need to give 100%. It doesn't matter. If it's a preseason, you just have to give it. You have to give it your all, and that's just about it.
And you saw it with the new
definitely the
signings,
message.
like Bellingham played really well that game as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
He saw he was giving 110%. Even their left back that they signed, Garcia.
Frank Garcia.
He's a really good player.
He's a very good
Very,
player.
very good player.
And listen, the 3-0 scoreline, I feel didn't really define the game. Madrid had a lot of shots and
Too
stuff.
many shots, bro.
I think it was almost 30 shots. But at the end of the day, Barca is still a great team, and capitalize on those chances, and you're gonna win. You're gonna be
Madrid
in all
looking a
of it.
bit dodgy in the back, eh? These
Yeah.
friendly games,
Yeah.
their defense
Absolutely.
and Courtois.
The last two games, even
yeah.
Juventus last night.
You
was
guys saw
dodgy.
Moise Keane.
Moise-
The fact that Moise Keane,
First minute in,
No, that's
the fact that
not
he's
good.
scoring is come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on,
for real.
Tim Weah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The Americans scoring on Real
Oh
Madrid.
my gosh. Man.
Yeah, it hurts.
The thing is, I know it's a preseason friendly and they're playing in the US, but the intensity these guys are playing at is
Yeah.
crazy. It did not look like preseason. It looked like middle of the season. Like,
Exactly.
Like
Well, they
that.
got
man.
into it when they fouled Ter Stegen. And then everyone just
Oh, yeah,
it was
flooded.
kinda that
And
big
it was like you
pile.
saw
Yeah.
Araujo, like you mentioned him, like immediately. I love that he's a captain, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah, I'm
happy
happy
he
he's
got
one of
his
the captains.
flowers because he's been repping Barca and he's been so crucial to Barca. Barca winning La Liga, I think he may have been the most like important part of that puzzle. He's so diehard for the squad and will do anything like for the badge that I'm so happy. For
I'm
him.
happy with the all new four captains. You know, De Jong, Araujo, Ter Stegen, and obviously Sergio
Sergi
Roberto. But
stays, yeah.
I'm happy that they got the captaincy, and,
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
tell those are players that want it, right, and show it. So it was really good,
Absolutely.
and obviously Ter Stegen doing what he does best, saving all those shots.
Yeah.
like you're saying, it was a lot
It
of
was
shots.
only 5 on target though. Like it wasn't really, but 29 shots, but 5 on target.
But no, it was crazy game. Araujo was putting his full body into it, and it was
He
just,
looked like he was in mid-season form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for no
as we
reason.
saw.
Even against
He
Arsenal.
was
Let's
like,
stop
like,
it.
yeah.
and then like he would see he would commit a foul, and he'd go like VAR. I'm like,
Yeah.
VAR,
Yeah.
man.
No bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needs everything.
Every time he's like VAR. I was like, "There's no VAR
That's the
here."
mentality you want like your
Yeah.
players to have. But even if it's
100%.
like preseason, like he's just gonna be an animal for them.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of him. Even as a Real fan, I've always loved his game. I think he's gonna do great things for Barca.
Yeah. So what do you see of the new signings, especially from Madrid, like Bellingham, Garcia?
Bellingham's phenomenal.
How many
to be
games has it been
honest.
so far? Three, four
Three,
games. And
three.
What
And
are
you
your
know what?
thoughts?
When I watched him against United, that first game against United, that goal. Oh my gosh.
Dink.
I love that. Goal. It was beautiful. But you know what? I like the fact that he's playing in that false 9 role for now until we get Mbappe.
Possibly.
Right?
Most
Mbappe.
likely. Most likely.
we
I
got-
don't know, man.
But I think he's been
I think
absolutely.
Real's like over Mbappe, and I don't blame them, man. Like he played with them last summer. He toyed with Real,
Yeah.
embarrassed them publicly, and now it doesn't really seem like anyone wants him, which is a really weird place to have like arguably the best player in the world right now. Like because of his feet, unless he takes like a serious deduction. I'm struggling to see where he's going besides Saudi. And I thought he was gone. I thought for sure
Yeah.
that whatever, 775 million.
Nah, that's
He's
just-
kind of
that's
crazy
nuts.
not to take up that offer though.
Especially
Yeah,
because it's
I
1
think
year.
he is
Everyone
too.
thought he was
Right?
going to go,
Yeah.
collect the bag, and then go to Real
Yeah.
next year. But
That
I
would
don't
make
know.
the most sense, right?
Well, there's Chelsea's rumor, like Chelsea
Oh,
started
for
rumors
loan.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah. For,
1 year. 1 year.
it was 1 year loan.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Insane.
Yeah, 'cause
I
it
just
was-
don't like these mind games that he knows it
But
too.
that's the
That
thing.
he's
Do you
just
want
toying
him?
with
Like,
the
as a
club.
Madrid fan, do you want him? Because he's one of those guys that has proven, like, yes, he's scoring 3 goals in the World Cup final, but this guy is drama everywhere he goes.
I
That locker
absolutely
room.
want him.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
There's
French
What do
players,
you,
man.
I can't. We'll get into it.
I
Where's
absolutely want
Coutinho? I
Mbappe.
thought I wanted to fight him today.
He couldn't make it today because he was crying.
That's
Dembele
exactly
left.
why.
That's why.
No, but like you have Vinny on that wing, which is preferably where Mbappe is going to want to play. After the season Vinny had, you're not moving him. I wouldn't move him. He doesn't deserve to be moved anywhere. But Mbappe is going to come in and be like, no, I'm that guy. Get out of my spot.
I feel like Vinny will still stay at left wing, even if Mbappe, let's say, were to come. I feel like Mbappe would play as a number 9. Like that's his position if he comes to Real. Like he's not going to left wing or right wing or wherever he wants. Like
But he prefers
We
the
need-
left wing, and he's
no,
that guy.
I know, but we need a striker.
Yeah.
No,
and
no,
he-
totally. I know what you
he
need.
needs
I'm
to
just
play
saying,
up front.
I don't
He can
think
play the role.
You know who you
He
guys
could
should have
definitely-
gone
definitely
for
fall
is
into
Harry
that role.
Kane. I cannot understand how that hasn't happened.
Low key.
That-
Harry
Harry Kane,
Kane's gotta,
you know
he's
what?
gotta get out of Spurs.
Yo, he has to, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. But that was such a perfect piece to your puzzle. I think even more so than Mbappe, not because Harry Kane's a better player than Mbappe,
Yeah.
but for what you guys
What we
specifically
need,
needed.
yeah.
A proper finisher.
What?
Proper man.
How?
And it's kind of more like he's very similar play style to Benzema.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like we're in that generation now where you need fast players up front.
Yeah.
And I think Mbappe just fits Madrid's play style perfectly. And we need to sign him as soon as possible.
I think the way Madrid are dealing with it is very smart. They're being like that guy who like Mbappe's like that girl that everyone wants.
Yeah.
But Madrid's like, you know what? If I don't focus on her, she's gonna realize that I'm not looking at her, and then she's be like, oh, Now this guy's not looking at me.
Yeah,
I'm
why
a
is
little
he not?
focused
That's
on
a
it.
crazy now.
You know what I mean? Like everyone pay attention to Mbappe because Mbappe is that
I
girl.
get what he's saying, though.
You know what I mean?
I get what he's saying.
Mbappe,
Like they're not paying attention to me.
Mbappe's
Maybe I
that-
gotta.
Mbappe's
You know what
that-
I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mbappe,
yeah.
I get
Mbappe
what you
is
mean,
that
but
girl.
that's
Mbappe is
pretty
that girl that everyone wants, but
Yeah.
the 1% you don't pay attention
It
to.
makes sense though.
Now
But
it's
like, so
like-
do you think now Mbappe is trying to pursue Madrid because they kind of like stayed quiet? Remember they signed Jose Lu and then they were like, "That's it, we're not signing
Yeah.
anyone."
It's mind games
And then
from
Mbappe
Madrid.
hears
It's
that, and
mind
now he's
games.
trying to get his way in
100%.
because we haven't heard anything since
Well,
then.
with that Goncalo Ramos signing from them
I
a
think
couple
that
days ago,
confirms.
Yeah.
that confirms that he's out.
They got the
Yeah.
replacement, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
Great signing.
Yeah.
Also,
That is a good
Madrid
signing.
number 9 is vacant.
Yeah.
Who else is it gonna be for, right?
No, it's,
Yeah.
It's gotta be Mbappe's.
Yes, it's
So does
Mbappe.
he take a wage cut?
Well, PSG listed him at what, 200 million? I think it was 200 million,
I believe
So
around there.
insane.
right?
We live in a
Real will do anything in their power, I feel like, to get a deal. I can't see Real paying the 200 million,
Yeah.
especially now paying 105 for Bellingham and then
I don't
signing
know how they still have
Güler.
money.
Yeah, it's just
And then Barca,
he'll need to take a cut.
We
for
have
sure.
pennies over here, and these guys just
Gotta get
signing
free transfers as
100,
well.
100 million. How do you guys not
Yeah,
have
last year, you guys were signing 8-9 players. I'm like, where the hell are they getting this money
What
from?
do you mean?
They got
And it's like,
leverage.
they got
They got
leverage,
leverage,
Yeah,
bro.
eight-
No, man.
everyone for free?
They got leverage
pull the
points
lever,
come out,
Kronk.
man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's insane.
But no, it's. I can see Mbappe going 100%.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, and if he goes, it's gonna be rough for Barca.
It's gonna look
It's
tough
gonna
for
be
Barca.
bad for sure. It's gonna be bad because right now Madrid are a little wobbly.
Yeah.
Especially, let's talk Arda Güler.
Oh.
Great signing.
Don't talk,
First of all,
don't talk to me about him too.
he was coming to Barca, and then Madrid pulled
That-
the robbery out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
For
right?
20 million, like that's just a
no,
slap
that's
for Barca
No,
in the
that's a
face.
great signing. But
No, it
how
is.
did this happen? Like overnight, he was literally. I thought it was solidified.
As a Real fan, I didn't even see it coming.
That's the thing. No one
I
knew,
didn't
and
see
then
it
it's just,
coming.
he goes through the.
I didn't see it
Barca
coming.
negotiating, putting
Yeah.
in
For
this
a
price,
while.
and then the next day Madrid, just like that.
Yeah.
20
Well-
million,
And he goes.
sealed.
Now he has a meniscus tear, and he's out for up to 6 months. So
Yeah.
enjoy him on your
No,
back.
he will not be touching grass this
You know who he
season.
reminds me of? Hakeem Stewart. Everyone just showing clips of him in training. You know, you're seeing clips of this guy. He's so good. But until I see him play,
Yeah, he's
I'm
got to
not
play.
Not
judging
at the
him.
top level for sure.
You know what I
And
mean?
starting off in an injury is definitely
Of
not
course,
good.
yeah.
But he's also super young, so hopefully he
Exactly.
can bounce back from that. But yeah, we got to see him play. But I think this just puts more pressure on Bellingham to really perform with Real because he was a leader for Dortmund. We all know
Absolutely.
that. He was, carrying that team in so many ways. But you're coming to La Liga. This is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And so I'm so
different
curious.
soccer.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you can argue because he has better players around him, he should get more service as well.
Yeah.
So I want to see him. bang
Considering
some
Bellingham's age at 19, he's got so much maturity, and as a soccer
Totally.
player already, I feel like he'll just take on any role that Real wants to give him, and he'll just excel at it because he's just phenomenal. And I think you guys could agree as Barca fans as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll always notice him on the field. He's always making an impact, and he'll always change any game that he plays in. And I think he'll live up to that pressure, and he'll succeed as a Madrid player. Yeah.
So would you say
absolutely.
he's Madrid's best new signing so far?
of the year? Absolutely.
year?
I think it
He
goes.
might be one of
If
the best new
Mbappe-
signings in La
Yeah.
Liga.
Well, signing right now, yeah,
Mbappe
it might be
can't.
the best in La Liga, to be honest.
I think it's hard to argue against that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think so.
105 million to one of the.
There's a couple sneaky ones, but he's definitely probably the best one.
I think Gundogan's a good shout.
I'll
Free
just-
transfer,
for Barcelona.
world class player.
Also, like such a Barcelona player.
Exactly.
Like for Barca, it made so much sense. If he went to
100%.
Real Madrid, I'd be like, I don't know about this, but
yeah.
like for Barca, for sure.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. But like,
I don't think he's gonna succeed at Barcelona.
Whoa.
No.
Why?
And I
Damn.
told Chris today that I was gonna say that at work that Gundogan wasn't gonna succeed
why
at Barca,
so? Really?
just because he's 31. And I didn't like that comment that he said about Pep, saying like I didn't know football until I met Pep, and now he's coming into a
I didn't know
role.
football until I knew that.
No,
What are you
no,
talking about?
no. But now you're being coached by one of the greatest soccer minds I think ever, like Xavi.
And who
personally.
was
I
he
know you
coached
guys-
by?
He was coached by Pep.
Ah,
He was coached, but
Crazy.
listen, I don't think he's gonna fit in that system, especially with Gavi, Pedri, and De Jong.
Does he
I
start?
No.
Gundogan?
I don't think if
It
there's three
depends though, because
midfielders
if
like
they
that.
push Gavi up, which is something they've been
How-
toying
how
with.
can
Gavi
you-
hasn't been playing at all. in
Yeah, well, in
preseasons.
pre-
He's
well,
been kind
I
of
think-
injured, but
He
But
trained
that's the
today,
thing.
though.
End
Trained
of
today.
last season, they had him playing on the right side up front. So if Gavi plays up there, they make space for Gundogan, especially because Busi is now gone too. As a sub, I don't know. Sorry.
If you're, I think
No,
if we're,
no,
if we're playing
know.
that
I don't
traditional
know that
Barca
person.
3, I think it's got to be Gavi, Pedri, and De Jong.
I don't know if they'll play like a
Personally.
3 midfield. I think they'll do like a 3-2-2-3. Well, they'll have De Jong and
3-2-2-3.
Romeo as like the 2 pivots, and then Pedri and Gundogan as like the 2
Is this Man
eights.
City? What are you doing over
They were
here?
kind of doing it last season, low key though.
I mean, with Balde going up a lot, it
Yeah.
did switch into a 3
Exactly.
back, but it's hard. Like you were saying, Gavi is going to be playing up more probably, especially because Dembele's gone. You can put him up more.
Yeah.
And then you have, you know,
Well, it'll be probably him, Louis, and then Rafinha.
yeah.
Because Dembele's gone and Ansu Fati. I don't know what's
Wait
happening.
on Ansu Fati.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, all
Trust
right.
me.
It's on your shirt. I saw you.
That's
just
my guy.
right
That
shirt.
is my guy.
Where is he
Respect.
been?
He scored a banger.
I
Though.
invested early.
But
He
2 days ago?
did.
That was a banger.
No, he did, but like there's still.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him. When he came up, I was so excited, and then
I
injury
know.
after injury after injury. It's hard to figure. Like you can't make a team around him. And I totally can understand that from Xavi's side. Do I want him to succeed? Absolutely. He's a Messiah product. He's Spanish, like
Yeah.
amazing. But he hasn't really been able to. And they gave him the number 10.
He hasn't lived up to those
too.
standards.
Oh,
Not
that
yet.
was-
Too much
that
pressure.
was
He
the
has not
worst.
lived
That
up
was
to any
the
sort
worst
of
thing they could
standard.
have
The
done
thing
for
is,
this
they
kid.
had to give it to someone because every number
Yeah.
between 1 and
Yeah.
24 has to
Has
be
to be
registered,
taken.
and someone had to take it.
Who else do you give it to? Imagine giving it to Dembele and then Elias.
But imagine wearing that number 10 after.
And
No,
it's
but
a lot
that's
of
the thing. The
pressure.
pressure
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
tough.
It is crazy pressure, but he hasn't lived
Yeah.
up to the standard.
I mean,
No.
The last
Yeah.
preseason game,
Still young, though.
the last
He
preseason
is.
game I seen him playing with Balde on the left.
Good link
They were
up, man.
connecting a lot,
Yeah.
which was very nice to see. And maybe you can see some more in that in the season, but I don't know. I think one of the good signings Barca did, and when we signed it, I was like very mind blown
Skeptical?
that we signed him.
Romeo,
Romeo,
Yeah.
what a player!
solid pickup.
Solid game
Like
against
3.5
the
player.
mil
You guys got rid of
euros.
Busquets to get Romeo, the same player.
We didn't.
Is that a bad
The
thing?
same player, man. You guys got rid
Yeah,
of
we
one
want
for
someone who's like
another.
Busquets.
Someone on a
That's
lower
not a good
wage.
sign. That's a step backwards.
What do you mean
Step
It
backwards.
is.
He
Anything
only moves so far forward.
Busquets for Romeo, that's a step
thing is,
backwards.
Of
you
course,
have
it's
to
a step
remember-
backwards. It's Busquets.
Okay.
You can't replace.
You can't
Busquets
replace
just
Busquets
bro.
like that.
When people would have asked you after Busquets left, who would have been
Yeah.
the player that would have replaced him?
You would have never said,
You would,
yeah.
Romeo would
Of
have
course
never
not.
ever showed up.
Well,
No,
you
you
have to
wouldn't.
remember,
Yeah.
I completely agree, but Barca are also working with like a fraction of the
Yeah.
money right now because of the
Yeah.
hole they
No,
dug themselves into. So they're kind of making these strategic moves, but that was one of them, and it's not looking bad in a couple games. Early days, and I'm not going
Yeah,
to jump the
yeah,
gun
exactly.
for sure, but they're being super strategic. They're getting guys on free transfers because they don't have another option. A signing that I'm really excited to see actually is Inigo Martinez.
That
He's
was a
injured
great
right now.
sign.
He's
but-
injured right now,
Good
but
left-
please
left
come
footed center
through
back.
because we gotta figure
Fix
out
that,
the back
the
is
back
a
line,
mess. Give me Joao Cancelo. Dembele can walk.
Please.
I want this to happen so much.
I know.
I
You're
think
a big
Joao, he's so talented. I think because he's so versatile. You
Yeah.
don't see footballers that can play in almost every position like him. And honestly, because he's naturally a defender too, that's what Barca need anyways. And he's like this small kind of
Yeah.
agile guy, like fits like that Barcelona
Dani
kind
Alves.
of. Oh my God,
I think
stop.
he'll fit actually perfectly at Barca. He's a
would,
Well,
100%.
especially
he's a
because-
perfect type of brat to fit in that Barca.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah.
the only issue with him. He's been having some kind of problems with the coaches he's been playing under.
I don't think
he's-
he was
he's
given a
talented,
fair
he's
chance
talented.
though at Bayern. Like that's the thing. I don't really.
Oh,
I
no,
can't
not at
really
all.
count that. Like him and Pep may have had a falling out, and that's one thing. But at Bayern, that doesn't like he didn't really have time. But with that whole right side, like
He'll fit in.
Serginho Dest is a pylon. Like
Yeah, I gotta get
They're
rid of
trying to
him.
terminate his
Oh my
no,
contract.
God.
and they're terminating his
Yeah.
contract
They gotta
because
get
no
rid
one
of him,
wants
yeah.
him.
Yeah, he's-
That's so
he's
scary as a
terrible.
football player. You're
That's
playing
tough.
at the likes of Barcelona and AC Milan, and the U.S. national team, and no one wants to sign you. That's scary. There's clearly something wrong
But
with
there's
this
no
guy.
passion when you see him
No.
play.
No.
When I see
No.
him play, he just
just his
walks,
face,
and then
though.
he gives you that. No, I don't know if it's. It might just be his face.
You know what I mean?
It might just be
Yeah,
his
he just
face.
looks
I mean?
uninterested.
Because it looks like he's
He's
always
roasting the guy.
smirking.
Oh, yeah, he does.
It looks like he's always smirking, just doesn't care.
He has like a nonchalant kind of vibe. to him.
Yeah.
Gosh,
That's crazy.
like we can't go into the season with him as a right back.
No.
Vinicius is
No.
destroying that. Anyone in La Liga is destroying that right side. So, someone like Cancelo coming into Barcelona would be
Huge.
Yeah.
Still gonna get cooked by
massive.
Vinny though.
I can't wait.
Yes, for sure. But at least he'll have a better chance. Like, give me like. I
Vinny's
don't know.
cooking any right
Vinny,
now
I
in La
mean,
Liga.
Serginho Dest is always running after. the
Yeah.
other player. Like
Yeah.
I can't have that. Like it's no, and
It's not just Vinny though. It's any other. It's any other left winger. Like
no,
he's
but that's
just
what
awful.
that's what he's saying
Yeah,
as well.
it's
That's
awful.
the thing. You can't have somebody like
No.
that. So
Not especially on Barcelona. Like
no,
that.
no way.
chance.
Especially because like Araujo is so cemented, and then you have Balde, and then if Inigo Martinez comes back, kicks Eric Garcia out. Also, don't ever want to see him play again.
Tell me
he's
about
there.
it. Tell me about it.
No man, Eric
insane,
Garcia. I think they
He's-
tried to get
he's
rid of him.
young.
Eric Garcia.
I
Is
don't care if
awful.
he's young. There's a reason why he never
Then
played for
he
Man
should
City.
be good.
Because he was like 18 or
He
like
wasn't
17 in that
good.
city.
He's not good though, and he's not good
not
for
good.
Spain either, and he wasn't good for City. Like the thing is,
But
is
he's
like
not
I'm
good.
like I think he needs to go somewhere at a lower level to maybe get his confidence and also play every game, and then see what happens if he can come back to a top flight team.
Yeah.
But like he is not at the Barcelona
He
level.
reminds
This is
me
not a
of-
Barca. You cannot play
No.
for Barca.
I
a
feel
role
like
player.
when you were trying to improve Barca and Real teams, you're always comparing like,
You have
okay, is my right back like Carvajal or like, or my
Exactly.
center
Yeah,
backs
but-
like Militao and Rudiger?
You
Like,
have
you know what I
to.
mean?
This
You
is
have to.
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Yeah,
like
you
those are
have
the
to.
standards, and you have to live up
So-
to them. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Barcelona definitely needs an upgrade at right back. They cannot continue with
Big one, man.
But we were talking about Vini a bit earlier. Who would you guys say is the face of La Liga right now?
I'd say Vini's a good shout. I'd say Lewandowski because he won the Pichichi, but like he's also not really like an in-your-face kind of
No,
player.
he's
you know,
not.
like Vini is so much
Yeah.
more passionate that I would
He's
slightly
got-
edge to him.
He's also got the media. Like he's like
Yeah,
Vini-
because he said F Spain and your racism,
Yeah.
and it's so like he like went out there, and so many other like
Yeah.
footballers and athletes and celebrities like stood behind him. Like what he did was really like
Yeah.
inspiring and admirable. So I think that definitely like helped. But I
more
mean,
of an
unless
influencer.
Mbappe comes,
Then
you
it's-
know?
The thing with me for now is I know I support Real, but I have to say this player because he's just been absolutely brilliant. I think it's Pedri.
Pedri.
He's
Ooh.
absolutely
Yeah.
the face of the
Really?
league.
That's
La Liga?
exactly what I was thinking.
You know what? As a Real fan, I have to admit it.
No, do you know what
It's
it is
like
too?
it's so hard to not say him.
Madrid
because,
saying Barca player and the Barca guys saying
no,
That's
it's
emotional.
because like
Man.
Pedri, you just have to accept the fact that he's always available, and whenever he's on the field, he's going to give you 100% and he just reminds me so much of like Iniesta.
yeah, it's totally.
It's
So good,
it's
man.
absolutely
and he's also
insane.
Spanish too.
Yeah.
I know that just like gives like
That's
you know.
true.
But no, I was also thinking Pedri is just
Yeah.
another player that isn't like. He's not in your face.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
so like humble and kind of like relaxed, but no, he's definitely like up there. Like if you were to make like a poster for La Liga this season, for sure Pedri is like one of the faces up there.
Pedri, Vinny.
Pedri Vini, that's
Pedri
it.
Vini,
We'll
yeah.
just
I think it's Vini, like 100%.
I think it's Vini.
screw you.
I think
Greece,
he's
man.
definitely the best player in the league, man. Like he's so protected. Like when Lewandowski did this, camera against who? He got a 3-game suspension. Vini's complaining to the refs, shouting in their faces, nothing.
Yeah.
So he's super protected for obvious reasons as well too. But Vini definitely best player in the league right now.
and he's
100%.
got the streets, right? He's got
Yeah.
the influence. You see him at all the Miami Heat games.
Yeah,
He's just
exactly.
got that.
His
That's
game
that's the
also
Brazilian
backs him
in
as
him.
well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's got the aura
And
too,
it's-
bro.
And the game also backs him as well.
Exactly.
Flashy, for
Flashy.
sure.
He's a player you
He's
want. right?
rapid. Everybody wants him.
Yeah.
Any other good signings besides Barca Madrid that La Liga had made? Any teams?
Sorloth.
Alexander
I think that's-
Sorloth.
I think that's
Alexander
really
Villarreal.
sneaky.
Sorloth.
That's
Yeah.
a sneaky one that
That's
I think
sneaky.
is
I did not see
really
that coming.
good.
No,
At all.
yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Because he was on
Real Sociedad.
Sociedad, yeah.
And then he went to Villarreal.
yeah.
But also Villarreal,
They
like
lost a lot of players, low key.
They did.
they also lost their coach last year, and then they lost what's his name, like Unai's second guy now went to Villa,
Oh, yeah, he
and
took
Pau
everyone.
Torres.
Yeah.
But
Pau
honestly,
Torres.
even with all of that, they were still one of like the better teams in La Liga. And I know one of the things you guys were gonna ask was about a dark horse, but I honestly think Villarreal is one of those teams that Yeremy Pino is playing his best football right now for
Yeah.
Spain and Villarreal. And then you have Sorloth. Like I think this might be the season where they can finally bring it together. Now I'm not saying they're gonna win the league, but I think they're gonna make a good run and at least play some like really good football. Definitely better.
I'm
than
gonna agree
Sevilla.
with you on that because if there was one team that I think that would challenge like Atletico for third,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's gonna be Villarreal.
That was another question.
Why not?
Let's-
Yeah,
let's
because
be
it's,
real.
al-
It's gonna
it's
be
always
Barca
top
Madrid.
3, right?
Knock
It's
on
always
wood.
those 3.
Yeah.
Well-
So if it had to
Pretty
be
much.
one team,
Sure.
Yeah.
it's gonna be Villarreal.
Well, also, I was looking at the odds today, just curious to see like what everyone was saying.
Mm-hmm.
They have Sevilla as 4th favorite to win La Liga. And listen,
I do not agree
Sevilla,
with that.
no, but I get it. Sevilla turned their season around in the sense Europa League for sure, but La Liga is different.
were
It's
horrible.
consistency,
Yeah.
and they were at one
They
point
were
in
horrible.
relegation for
Yeah.
like a month. No way. I think Sevilla is top 4. Absolutely not. There's no way.
Half their squad is like over 32 years old.
Did they sign
They
anyone
no,
as
they
well?
lost. Oh no. They lost players. No, I didn't see them sign
No,
anyone
I
of
didn't see them sign anyone.
worth.
Exactly.
But they're still relying on like
think
the
it was
same
Yanez
old
that
guys, and like the way they play, they could not compete in that. They almost went down. Like that's crazy to me. And you
Their
had them as
market
four-
value is like 200 million Sevilla. So I
Yeah.
just do not see top 4 for them at all. Like at all. It's just I don't know how like those odds are crazy.
Yeah.
I would
Like
never.
they're
agree with
Europa
that.
League merchants. Like, do they really care about La Liga? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. They won it, which they needed it like last year.
Yeah,
Especially they had
yeah,
3 coaches all year. Like that's crazy for any team. But
That's-
yeah, I think they ended up finishing like 12th. Sevilla.
they're
They're
down,
usually
yeah.
top 16. Like how? What is going on?
And they're in Champions
Valencia
League.
as well. This game is
Yeah.
also next Friday. First game at La Liga. I have no clue what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a mess. Like 2 teams that are just so unstable right now. in my
I think
opinion.
anything below the top 3 is just like so up in the air.
Yeah.
Like you never like that's always been the case with La Liga as well. Well, at least up until Sevilla started playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that top 4 was always the same, like Real, Barca, Atletico, Sevilla. And now it's like, okay, well, who's gonna finish
Maybe
4th?
Sociedad.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
another
give
team,
Betis
you know?
their flowers. Come on, they've
Well-
made a few good runs.
Well, that's my question I have next for you guys. Who's top 4 for you guys? Who's finishing top 4?
Top 4. Damn.
Predictions.
You know what? Because I already said it. Let's go with Villarreal just because Betis, I think, is going to be really good. I'm curious to see how they play without Joaquin, though. I mean, not that he was a consistent player on the pitch, but that was their leader for how many years, and he finally retired. Borja Iglesias, though, is absolutely fantastic. He's one of my, to
Yeah.
watch out for top goal scorer. But I don't know. Something about this Villarreal side, I really want to see them do well. Real Sociedad, I don't know, man. I thought they would do better last year. They didn't. What's
No.
making me think
Yeah.
they're going to do better?
You're right.
I still see like a top 7 finish for them,
Yeah.
but I'm not seeing in the top 4. I don't know. What about you
I'm
guys?
saying Villarreal
Love.
too, because again, like from before, I said it to Chris. They would be the only team that would challenge Atletico, in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
is
I
them.
hope they finish third over Atletico.
Especially that
That'd be
CL
crazy.
run that they made. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago when they played Bayern in the semi. In the
Oh, yes.
yeah,
And they almost won.
and they almost
Oh,
won. They lost in the
yeah.
last
Can you
second. It was
imagine?
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Crazy. Who do you guys have coming first, though?
Jeez,
I think it's
yeah.
Barca's league to lose only because Real did the way Real performed last season. It's not that Real is not a good team. It's not that Real hasn't made good signings. They are, and they look dangerous. But the way they played last season, I need to see them actually give a damn in La Liga because that's how it looked. The team that I saw competing in the Champions League was not the same as
Right.
the team consistently playing week in and week out in La Liga. So I want to see them go for it. Like try and win this thing. Barca was ahead by how many?
Yeah, what was
12 points.
12
Like,
points.
that's
Was that the
insane. You
most?
can't let Barcelona
12
walk
points
over
was
you
the
like
most
that
over. I
as a
think it
Real
finished
Madrid
10.
team.
88,
So,
78
I,
or something.
I think just
Yeah.
because of that and because Barca won it last year, it's theirs to lose. But maybe Madrid, all of a sudden, they can do it, and they should be able to.
I think Real wins the league, especially if Kylian Mbappe is in a Los Blancos shirt by the end of the month.
Let's say with the team that you have now, because we are playing like the theoretical
Third
game.
place?
No.
Can you imagine?
You have to give them. You have to give them the respect. I still think Real Madrid is the better team than Barca, just because the all-around experience on that team is just second to none. I think with the likes of Kroos, Modric, Carvajal, even Courtois, and that they're always going to give you it's just that experience and that. I don't know what is
then
when you
what
guys
happened last
play
season?
soccer, and you know the team you're about to play, and you see those 5 guys that have been there for 10 years, and it's kind of it's just a mental thing in your head.
For sure, yeah.
And it's like they've played so many La Liga games, even their competitions in Europe just gives them so much experience. And I feel like if Kroos and Modric are on 1-year deals, they're gonna want to go out winning a La Liga title. I think. Personally,
I think that's a better shout
Yeah.
than what you said because you mentioned players that were there last year and they weren't able to do it. So
right.
That's
I
what-
think Kroos, Modric has been playing that 1-year game
Yeah.
for about 3 years now. But especially them two on a 1-year deal, and them knowing that
Ancelotti's
they have the
going.
future literally on the bench or could be on the field right beside them, and Ancelotti leaving to Brazil next season, I think Real Madrid's gonna win the La Liga title.
Interesting. Okay.
My thing as well is you don't want the same thing to happen what happened last year because it looks
Right.
bad for the league
Yeah, it
in
does.
general.
Right.
For Barca to be up 10 points.
I feel like once
that's
Real
really
knew
bad.
that that wasn't in reach, like that was out of reach.
Yeah.
And their focus was on the CL. Like, and then again, they made that CL run last year. It was a good one. But especially now knowing that Barca was up 10 points, they just stopped caring, and that's not what we need in this
you
league
can't.
at all.
That looks bad for the league.
It looks terrible for the league.
And that brings me another question. Like, I think just recently it came out what the leagues were switching the ranking of the leagues.
Yeah,
Right.
didn't like the French league get
Go to
enough.
like 7th.
That's insane.
what was La Liga at?
It better have been number 2.
No, I think
No, it's-
City I was number 2.
3, yeah, it was
I
probably
three.
think it was
four.
3.
Yeah,
Liga
3.
4,
I think it was
which is
4.
fair.
3 or 4. I think
Do
that's
you-
fair
After
too.
Do you
last
guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Is
So-
that is your
Sorry.
top 5 leagues?
So, sorry, Tanya?
I think it was obviously Prem,
Prem for sure.
Serie A, Bundesliga,
Absolutely.
La Liga, and then it was
Get
Eredivisie.
out. Get out.
Eredivisie, I think.
Was
Yeah.
5th?
I think so.
I believe so.
Wait, so where was
Actually,
that?
right?
Liga?
4th.
4th.
That's fair.
Wait, so Prem,
Behind
Serie
Serie
A,
A.
Bundesliga, La Liga,
And then like
Eredivisie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Eredivisie or
Serie A bounced back for sure. That's no issue with me. But you're putting the Bundesliga when Borussia Dortmund had every right to win that, and yet again for the
bottled
400th year in a row, we saw
Bottled.
Bayern Munich. How would you even like that? To me,
Bottled
is
it on the
that
last
to me
day.
is people that don't watch La Liga are making these rules up because that is insane. You've had a team that has consistently won, and even when Dortmund had every right to win, and they were the better side, they still bottled it, and yet again we saw the same team win. How can you even say that that is a better league than La Liga?
It gets
In what
boring.
world?
I mean,
No.
I think City A too even.
Don't
bothers
start,
me.
friend.
I think
Like that even bothers me.
Don't
get-
start.
No, but Serie
Don't get
A,
me
they
started.
really
You're
bounced
right.
back last
No.
year. And
Right.
if we're basing it just on last year, I can give Serie A that.
I agree.
But I would say it would be Prem, Serie A, then La Liga. Bundesliga, get out if you're not even. I think those 3 are even like levels ahead of whoever is next. I don't care.
Right. We won't get into it,
Oh,
but
you should.
Shut up.
No, I agree with
I
that.
think
I don't think
La-
Serie A-
I think
Serie A
I don't
second
think
is
Serie A
not.
should be
That's
second.
definitely that's what.
Well,
How many
is
teams
it
do they have in the
based,
Champions
is
League
it
Conference
just
League
based
Europe?
on last season? Because
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
just based
say
off last
like,
season.
look at the Serie A teams that they're
Yeah.
gonna look at who went to the Champions League final. Look at how
But they all
Napoli did, and
lost.
finally, yeah. But what? So did the Spanish teams.
Inter.
They didn't get
Yeah,
as
it was
far.
Spanish teams.
Inter went to
I'm
the
just
final.
saying I can
No, yeah.
understand it more.
It was definitely City out last year. It had to be. If anything, City was
I
better
feel
than
like Serie A was second
What?
because all the other leagues were just really bad.
Right.
Fair.
That's what I'm.
That's fair.
What did you say?
Serie A were second because all the other leagues are just horrible.
Like we're also
Okay,
saying this
sure.
when like Barcelona had like the most clean sheets in like
I
all of
know.
Europe and
Yeah.
only conceded like 11 goals. Like we're brats for like the football that we're
You
used
got-
to. Like that's
Champions League
insane.
as well, right? Like
I
we
just
got-
think it
Champions
doesn't
League.
make sense to have La
And
Liga
Europa League?
that low when in like the past 15 years,
Yeah, who's won?
all the European
And-
champions, Champions League, Europa League have been mostly Spanish
Exactly.
teams.
Oh, but it's just based on.
But it was just based on last year, no?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
Based
what
off
that's
last
what
year.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
asking.
yeah.
But then
Yeah,
in
yeah.
whose world is Bayern Munich? Is Bayern Munich the Bundesliga? Because that's what they're basing it off.
Nah,
of.
Bayern
nah,
It's the
nah,
Bayern. No,
nah.
but you
Yeah,
can't
literally.
say.
Nah,
How
nah.
many times in the how many years in a row?
Enough,
Exactly.
bro. Enough. But like, if you're looking at the overall quality of the league, the Bundesliga overall is better than La Liga.
Oh
That's
man,
insane.
and the way Dortmund lost it last year.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I know.
I-
I've seen it. I watched the game. I saw it. I saw it like 3 times, and I cried.
I think all time, like La Liga is probably second, but
All time, La Liga is probably first.
well,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
the Prem's always been like the most
I don't
entertaining
think Prem's
for view.
second.
Well, for views, because really El Clasico alone creates so many views. But the Premier League, just every game is always entertaining.
I think in North America, people give the Premier League though a
Yeah.
lot more grace
Yeah.
because it's like the league that first of all was broadcasted a lot more. Like we didn't have
Yeah.
access to like La Liga or Serie
Yeah.
A or Bundesliga, whatever. So people that's what they were able to watch. They just automatically thought this was the top league.
Yeah.
But I can see like arguments for La Liga as well. I completely agree. And I also think these people are just people that watch the Prem and they don't watch the Bundesliga. They don't watch Serie A. They don't watch La Liga. And that's when I hate getting into arguments with people because I'm like, you've never really sat down and watched like Betis and Sevilla go at it at the Benito
Quality
Villamarín
football.
because that's a game. That just makes you
That's
love football.
football.
And that's the thing. It's like you just want to see like the Manchester Derby. And that's great if you do, but don't speak on the football that you don't even watch.
I agree, and I would say like Sevilla Betis is compared to like Lazio and Verona. And what would you like rather watch?
Like the Merseyside Derby too.
Yeah, it's just like Spanish football is way better.
No.
Like that's all I have
And
to
then that's
say.
how we're ending that.
Spanish teams. in
My
general.
my
Spanish
question.
they're not
football
better.
style alone.
Statements are wrong.
They're not better. If you were to compare every team in the league compared to all the Serie A teams, I think Serie A have better teams. They have more like top teams than La Liga.
Okay, that's interesting though because I know what you're saying, but can you really tell me that the football that Inter Milan played last season was beautiful to watch? Because
Brought
the
them to the
fact
final.
that they were not good. Like
They were
it
the
was
better
like,
team in the final.
They in the final until that point, their football was
Yeah.
drab. AC Milan started off really well, and then also became just
roller
kind of
coaster.
messy football. I mean, the only team, Juve, I can't.
Don't talk about Juve here, no.
I can't, and I won't. But the only team that I actually felt like there was so much passion was, of course, Napoli,
Yeah,
and actually
exactly.
good football.
They fell off.
Yeah.
A lot of the football that I was seeing from some of the Serie A teams, not all of them, but I didn't find like it was actually good. It was pragmatic. They
Entertaining.
know how to piss the other team off and hold the ball and try and just play on the counter. If that's the kind of football you like, more power to you. But I want to see an actual football game where it's back and forth, it's
See-
tiki-taka, and it's like the technique is there.
See, as I want to say right now, this is a mentality of Barca fans that they want to see. They want to see good football, but at the end of the day, we're trying to see the better team win, which at the end of the day was the Serie A teams.
Okay. I mean, I guess I
is a-
love beautiful football.
It is.
I'm sorry
I've
for
noticed
that.
that. No, that's not a bad thing.
If Jay was here, you'd say the same
Yeah, I've
thing.
noticed a lot of Barca fans say that same thing.
Yeah,
That's why.
I think because we're so used to
Yeah.
seeing like we got
We were
so
spoiled.
we were so spoiled.
Yeah, like I'm a Juve fan, and all we do is like literally defend, and like when we win,
I don't find that.
it's be-
I don't find that.
I'll see that as
Boring.
a
I
better
watch
team.
football to get entertained.
Yeah,
That's
because you're a
what I'm
Barca
saying.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm entertained by them defending.
You're entertained by them defending.
Why
Really?
are you lying, bro?
I get paid to say
You're
that.
lying through your teeth, bro.
That's crazy. So follow up question. Oh,
Question.
go ahead.
Besides Real Madrid games, besides Barca games, what other La Liga games are you guys watching?
I love watching Betis.
Okay, besides you, I want to ask this question. I think people like watching.
Girona are entertaining side. They play good football.
You watch Girona every weekend,
Castellanos.
but compared to the other leagues, how much are you watching in La Liga? Because Premier League, you're definitely watching Madrid game. You're watching City games. You're watching Spurs games. You're watching
sure.
United games.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah,
football.
you're
You're watching
I'll watch
Liverpool
the big
games.
the most
You're watching
Yeah,
Chelsea
for
games.
sure.
They're
Even if-
on TV. Can
No.
we talk?
No,
That's
we have to get Fubo. We don't guys on Fubo. I think one.
La Liga is on
Someone's got
TSN
Fubo.
and they never show any of the games. I'm out
Facts.
here
But even
not
if,
illegally streaming, but that's the only way you can watch it. They don't.
Yeah.
TSN doesn't even show El Clasico. I think
I know.
that's an unfair question
But the thing is-
because
but-
it's so much easier to watch Serie A because it's at least on DAZN and TLN, and Fubo has Premier League. That it's way harder to watch La Liga in this country right
but
now. So
unless
that's not
unless
fair.
unless you have one of the streaming services, at least La Liga is being broadcasted to you. If it's one or two games, that's whatever it is. You still have to go out of your way and find those other games, the Premier League games. You still have to go out of your way to watch Serie A games, and people are doing it if it's legal or illegal. So rather than sticking to your La Liga roots and watching more of La Liga and to support the league itself, you guys are still watching the other leagues, and that's why those leagues are still.
I would argue
at the
that
top.
I'm watching just as much La Liga as I do Premier League. I say I'd watch those two more than Serie A. I'll still watch Serie A games,
Yeah.
but like there's not enough time in the day to literally watch like on a Saturday all the football games.
Oh no, for sure,
So I'll
for sure.
prioritize.
Right.
But if I'm just sitting down and I turn TSN on, they happen to have like Osasuna and Elche. Honestly, I'll probably keep it on. Like, yeah, it might not be the most exciting, but I am a diehard La Liga fan, and I've been watching my whole life. So like, I will sit down and watch, and honestly, it's usually like entertaining in one way or another.
And then you're comparing Osasuna to Elche to let's say.
Those are like two of like the lower level teams. Like Osasuna is like mid and then Elche
Like
is.
via Everton or something.
Yeah, you're still watching via Everton.
yeah.
man.
It's like watching Tottenham. It's about the same.
I mean, people are gonna watch the most invested league most of the time,
which
right?
is like we're not arguing like the Premier League is number one.
Yeah, no,
Like
no,
I still
100%, 100%. I'm watching that game over Alche's.
Yeah, but like I said,
you
it's
know what
still
I mean?
just easier to watch because you know
It
that
is.
you can go to Fubo, and now they have that thing like American football where it's like what's it called? Red Zone, where you can have like Premier League Sundays, and they just show you all
Are
the
they doing that?
goals. They have that on Fubo, and it's
Yeah.
insane. And I'm like, this is too much. Yeah, but you can. And like I said, with La Liga, if they're not showing it on TSN, you
you
have
can't
to
find it.
illegally stream.
Yeah.
So it is like you do have to go out of your way. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
crazy.
just harder.
It is harder. It is harder. I would say so too.
Fair.
Don't argue that.
But going into another question, we're talking about the top 5 leagues. What does La Liga have to do to go back up to at least second best league?
Sign Mbappe.
Champions League, probably, because that's all that anyone seems
Yeah.
to care about. And so much of it's based on that, right? So they have to make a good run. Like, somebody's got to get into, like, at least the semifinals, I'd say.
When you could argue what La Liga was probably the second best league when Messi and Ronaldo were
Right.
obviously in the league.
Yeah.
So does that come down to us getting obviously the best players?
Yeah, I think Mbappe needs to come to La Liga.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that they'll be shown more and stuff like that, and like be regarded as the second best league. I think they need to get a marquee superstar.
But, like, I think that's also, like, disrespectful to players like Vini, like Pedri, like, all these players that are in La Liga that are so good, but just because they don't have the same amount of money as, like, teams in the Prem, they're not getting, like, every superstar. Like, I don't know. Like, why do they need Mbappe? Like, that's
Yeah.
literally the biggest guy. I don't think they need the biggest guy for them to be regarded. I think it's a matter of competing in Europe, which also doesn't make sense because look at the Europa League and the Conference League.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Not that anyone cares, apparently, but it's just kind of like La Liga literally owns Europe. If you look at the last 15, we talk about this, and like, I don't know. I guess if it's based
But
on
for
every
right
year
now,
because of
though,
Italy
yeah.
last year, then it's about making a run in the Champions League. This is obviously
Yeah.
what it's based on.
Can I make one argument for you guys? Against you guys, sorry. What I would think personally, and I'm sure some of you too, what makes a league entertaining is the competitiveness. If I'm in a league where I know the top team is, running off with a trophy halfway through the season, then what makes it entertaining to watch, or what makes it a top level league if it's going to be top heavy with like the first only two teams really competing, and then at that point the first team is literally taking off from the second team like halfway through the season. Just to give you guys a quick little
So
summary
besides
here.
this season, City pretty much.
So last year,
and the
last
Bundesliga.
year,
And the Bundesliga.
Oh yeah, so
no.
forget the sorry, and Serie A and Juventus.
Juve,
Oh wait,
yeah.
sorry, there you
So
go.
last year, La Liga, it was 10 points, right?
Yeah.
The year before that, it was another 13 points. Madrid won. The year before that, Atletico Madrid, that was only closest one was, I think it was 2 points,
so
right?
Happy.
Atletico Madrid
Yeah.
beat
Suarez.
Real Madrid that year. And then we're going to go back to 5 points. And then, again, going behind before that, another 10 points. So it's not the same competitiveness compared to the other teams as well. Because even from back in 17-18, I think it was 93 to 79. Like,
Right.
It's
You know what?
from
Dan,
a handful
now
of
that
games-
you say that, I've actually since the Ronaldo Messi era, I feel like this year for some reason is going to be so much more competitive, and that title race is going to be
love
like
that.
so within 5 points for sure.
Really?
I
I
hope
think
so.
for sure. But again, if Real were to get Mbappe, you're going to see that 10-point margin or 12-point margin.
Possibly.
Damn.
You think so?
Which is why
I
it's
agree.
scary, bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
think so?
but wait, just to go back to what you were saying, you just made that point. Look
Right.
at the Prem in the last how many years with City? Look at Juve and Serie A. Look at PSG. Look at
Bayern
Bayern
Munich.
Munich. Like,
Yeah.
you can say, and I know they went through more of like waves where it was like, okay, the last
Not so much
it's
as,
been
like, La
City.
Liga.
It's no, for
Right.
sure. But of recent time, it has been like that. So I just think we go through dominance. With La Liga, I think, yeah, it's definitely more so. It's been the rotating three. But like, it's kind of in every league. We just see these waves, and with La Liga, it's just less teams. But like, I don't think you can still say it wasn't competitive because look at when Messi and Ronaldo were there. We were all freaking out.
How long
Look
ago
at
was
us-
that?
I'm still freaking out. Who's gonna
No,
win?
but how long ago was that whole Madrid, Ronaldo, Messi?
Go
era?
to
like
Juve,
yesterday.
like,
Feels
It
like
feels like
that.
shit, but hey, that's yes,
Literally
that's the
like
past.
5 years
that's,
ago.
That's the
It's
past.
insane.
Yeah, but okay, but what's then your argument for all these other leagues, like the Bundesliga, or like finally Napoli won? Did you not see how everyone in the world was like freaking out on Twitter because they were like,
Oh, it's obviously
sorry,
it's,
but
it's
Juve
great.
finally didn't win.
It's great to see a new champion, but again, besides
What,
that,
2 years, 3 years?
3 years.
After what, 10 years of winning in a row?
That was worse to me than La Liga because at least
Exactly.
Barca and Madrid were like, all right, switch. Atletico won for you. Like, there was a little bit more rotation. But if you're gonna come for La Liga, go for the Serie A and go for the Bundesliga for sure.
rotations doesn't concern me as much as it does for the points in the gap. Because if I'm watching a league, and it's the same thing for anything. Like if I know
What do the points matter if at least there's different?
because I'm gonna
teams winning?
what's stopping me from watching a league 6 games before the end of the season to the very end, knowing that maybe my team might win at the very end of the game, compared to knowing that 6 games out, 10 games out, the season's already over.
Okay, well I'll tell you.
That's where the viewership comes. That's where like anything else comes. Why am I gonna watch? Why are people gonna go watch? Even if I'm not a Madrid or Barca fan, I'm not gonna go watch a Madrid game or a Barca game knowing that Madrid or Barca are already champions.
You already know the outcome.
Napoli
Yeah.
won the season in like March.
That's Napoli, sure.
No, I'm just trying to.
Hold on. Sorry.
Hold on. Come on.
No, okay. The only reason why Serie A was still like pumping is because the top 4 race was close. I feel like La Liga.
The only reason
Wait,
Serie A was
wait.
bumping because everyone was talking about
Something
Juve
cheap though,
and the
you over there.
freaking way they paid and all that stuff.
Yeah, wait, 13th place, just kidding. Back
Yeah,
That's the only reason
no, but
why.
honestly,
But at the end of the day, that's good marketing for the league.
it made it more.
If you want to be known as the
It's
league
not-
that pays people,
It's not good marketing. It's not good marketing.
I'm okay with the
I'm
being
so-
a league that you know.
Okay, wait. Okay, I didn't fully explain my argument yet.
In today's era, you can go viral for being doing really bad things and go viral for doing really good things. So fair enough. If you could go viral, the Serie A was a hot topic last year because of whatever happened with Juve. But at the end of the day, maybe it brought some viewership.
Yeah, that's true. But as I was saying, every other well, I don't know about Bundesliga. Like I don't really like. To me personally, I don't really care too much about the top 4 race for Bundesliga or La Liga because I know who the top 3 are going to be. It's just the 4th is like a rotating like Sociedad, Betis, like one of the 4 usually. For Serie A, it's like a different top 4 every year usually.
Yeah.
Prem,
Same again.
kind of the same, but slightly rotating, which why it makes it a little more interesting. I think that's the only problem with the Liga. So when the league is done early, there's no really top 4 race to watch because like you already know who's going to be pretty much.
I think the 4th place sometimes definitely rotates. But
Yeah.
I think the thing is in La Liga, and it's definitely a problem, but it's such a bigger picture, is that Barcelona and Real Madrid are the 2 biggest football teams in the world, period. So you have those teams competing in Spain, where then you look at teams, you know, like Villarreal, like Betis, like Sevilla, they don't have the money. And it's just, you can see the disparity. And I don't think it's a good thing, for sure, but it's like you have the giants of the game, and they just happen to be competing in that league. Like, it's just one of those things that maybe eventually it'll get better. And I mean, I think the way we see these teams competing in, like, the Europa League and the Conference League, it's definitely good for those teams. But it is just unfortunate, and I totally get where you're coming from, and it's hard for me to see it like that because I'm a Barca fan, that I'm going to watch it no matter what. Yeah. But I think these past few years have also been like kind of weird because last year Real just gave up in La Liga. Yeah. The 3 years before, Barca was being coached by Ronald fucking Koeman, and it was just the most miserable. We went through like such a depressing time. Like
Messi leaving, you can't expect.
I can't.
Well, there's up and downs for every team and every league.
For sure. But I think that's why we saw it more so in the last recent years, because there were just weird things going on with the clubs. But I do kind of think that this year is going to be like
it's just something that like
There is.
like if you look at the best 11 for Barca and Real, it is like very close.
Yeah.
Like personally for me, other than the striker
As a
position.
Madrid fan,
Yeah.
No, I just want to
I agree.
my favorite Madrid.
So what would a combined Barca and Madrid 11?
I'm very realistic.
Unfair, the best football team you'd ever seen.
If we're talking about the biggest club in the history of the game, it's Madrid.
Combined
all day.
11.
And I agree with
they're
that
so
too.
far behind.
It's
I agree
with
with
that.
It's fine.
Then
Personally,
why
It
is
hurts.
everyone in the U.S. wearing Barca jerseys when they play El Clasico?
I can't argue against
Barcelona
this.
is 100% a bigger club than Madrid, and this is not an argument about who's better right now or who's been better. But why do you see when you go to other countries that the Barcelona jerseys are the ones that are everywhere? This club has been dominant for centuries.
I think that's
You
just the
have-
Messi effect. More
that-
people liking Messi.
Well, they're out here
than
with their
Ronaldo.
Cruyff jerseys, their Ronaldinho jerseys, their Stoichkov jerseys. Like,
14
I don't know.
CLs.
I don't know
think,
about
like-
that. I don't know. They're definitely the 2 biggest, but I don't know if Real's bigger than
I
Barca.
think if we're talking accolades, I think Real
Accolades, of
Madrid.
course, Madrid. But I
For
think
sure,
Barca have the
accolades, but I'm just
streets.
talking about fan base.
Yeah, I think Barca have the fan base.
I think honestly they're the people's club. We're
They,
not from
they
the
can have a
capital.
fan base all
We
they
don't
want.
know
They have
any part
nowhere
of
near the
Spain.
trophies. they can have whatever fans they want.
No, but I think
Like,
that's what it
they-
is. They're more like
yeah.
the people's club. Real definitely have the accolades.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like again at the end of the day, it's like all these people, like you were saying, the Cruyff, all those jerseys, but the Messi effect. Everybody loves Lionel Messi, like once in a lifetime player. Same with
Messi's in the
Ronaldo,
States
but it's
now.
just
Which is
but it's just but she's saying like Barca jerseys all over the U.S. It's because of
No,
Messi,
yeah.
right?
It's good marketing.
It's just
It's a big part of it.
yeah.
Well, back to what Matt was saying.
Yeah, so combined Barca
Combined
Madrid
Barca.
11.
That-
What's that
that's-
looking like?
That's interesting.
Unfair.
It might be a- it
We
might
going
be a
for position for
Position
position.
for
Position
position.
for position, 4-3-3, goalie.
I think 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Courtois
Yes.
has to be right.
Oh.
Does it have to be Militao and Araujo?
We're going
for
off of
sure?
last
Wait.
season.
Oh my god, I thought you guys meant of all time. I was like,
No.
no.
Last season.
No. Going off of last season.
If it's last season,
It
it's
has to be
Ter
Ter
Stegen.
Stegen.
Ter Stegen was the best keeper in
Courtois.
England.
Didn't he win the Zamora?
Oh, are we going current form?
Current
Current form?
Well, what do you?
Well,
judge
current form.
Current is last season. What do you current?
Yeah, you gotta go off
Going off
last
pre-
season.
preseason?
You gotta go off last
You
season.
have to go
We
Ter
have to go off
Stegen.
last
to get the
season. If we're
most
going off
clean
last
sheets.
season, it's Ter
It
Stegen.
has to
Yeah.
be last season.
It's pretty close.
If you're going off
Okay,
preseason,
okay.
We'll give you all the defenders besides Araujo. Give us Ter Stegen.
Courtois win Player of the Year?
What?
When?
last season.
No, that was the season before
The year
when they
before
beat
when they won the
Liverpool in the Champions
when they
League
won the
final.
CL.
Not last season.
Yeah, you go Ter Stegen.
I think Militao and
I think
Araujo.
Militao Araujo
Yeah,
for sure.
sure.
And then
Carvajal.
yeah.
Yeah, because Barca doesn't have a right
You
back.
don't have anyone.
For sure.
We got
Take it. Fine. Sure.
Left back?
Does Camavinga count as a left back?
Camavinga.
No.
Camavinga.
Balde.
No, man. I
I
got
don't know about
Balde.
that.
Balde wasn't consistent like that, too.
Yeah,
Right.
He kind of was.
Balde.
I think. You guys think
I
I
Balde?
think Balde low key, man. Camavinga is a midfielder. I know he plays.
But the
That's
middle
also,
three,
like,
the middle
other
three is where
position-
it's controversial.
Yeah.
For me.
So can we agree on Balde?
I agree about that.
I could agree on Balde.
All right,
Especially-
perfect. Look at this. They're so nice.
Especially that he went into the season like no one really knew much.
This
about
three,
him.
we're not going to agree with a lot here.
Jordan
Yeah.
Alba was starting obviously a lot, and then you saw as the season progressed, Balde was getting
emerged,
minutes.
man.
Balde was getting more time. He was getting starting, and then he just took off.
Yeah, getting some nice
So
assists too.
I think Balde definitely left back.
Okay, go for the middle.
This is
I don't even.
Pedri, Modric, for sure.
No, wait.
CDM.
You have Bellingham in your midfield now.
No. Last season.
We're saying last season?
No, we have to base
We
it
gotta go
on
off
last.
we gotta go off
Right
the players
now.
Yeah, we
And you got to base off
players
Bellingham
now,
off
too.
last season, but like now.
Bellingham, yeah.
Because this is the Real Madrid
Oh
now.
my god, this is so pain.
Well, who's
Okay.
CDM though?
That's on you guys to decide because both of you guys don't really have CDM.
Bellingham's not really
Well,
playing a
no,
CDM
because
role.
Frankie can play there.
It'll meio.
But you can play like a flat three.
Frankie, Bellingham, Modric.
Yes.
Crazy that Pedri is
Pedri's
not
out of
in
it.
there.
Yeah.
That's
No, Pedri's
insane.
kind of crazy.
I agree
No,
with that 100%.
No
kinda
way.
crazy.
Pedri's making that. Just take someone out.
But who?
What?
Non-biased, Bellingham and Modric are superior to Pedri.
I think I'm taking Pedri over Modric.
I would-
Sorry. And that's
Over
not,
Modric?
It's not disrespect. It's
Oh,
not
wow.
disrespect. It's not disrespect. But like,
He almost fell off the couch. He almost fell off the couch. Look at him.
Can you do a midfield?
Listen, if you
a
said
5-3-2?
Bellingham, I'd say
Also,
like.
wasn't Pedri injured like all of last season too?
He's injured for a little bit.
you know
Yeah.
what he can do.
Wait,
though.
wait,
That's the
which
thing.
is
We
fair.
know
Which
what
is fair.
Modric have done and what Bellingham has done as well.
Right.
I'm not mad.
Can you do a 5-3 and just put
No, just those are the
has to be a
three.
CDM?
Oh, with CDM and two center mids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Either way you have a Barca player. So
Okay.
Romeo a CDM.
Listen, I'm already giving you Liwa up front.
Okay, left wing.
Vin.
It's obvious. Yeah, Vini, 100%.
Louis,
Striker.
Liwa.
Has to be Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
Yeah,
for
Lewandowski.
sure.
he won the Pachichi.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought you were like looking
Real
at
doesn't
him.
have a. We don't have a striker.
Right mid?
Right wing Dembele.
Dembele.
Oh, I mean,
oh wait,
Dembele's out.
Rodrigo.
Ferran Torres.
Bella don't know.
It was.
It was.
Rodrigo.
A few days ago.
Was
he
the
still
key
officially
word.
on the team.
Or
If we had this,
Rafinha
if we had this podcast a couple days
And
ago,
Rodrigo?
Anyone. Put
Oh,
Rodrigo.
Then
put
Rodrigo?
Valverde, Valverde. I don't
Rodrigo's
care.
better than Rafinha.
Not Dembele.
Valverde.
No way.
I don't like
Rodrigo or
Rafinha.
Valverde?
I don't like
Yeah.
Rafinha either. But
Valverde,
put
that's-
Valverde
No.
there. That's fine with me too.
Rafinha had like 20 plus G.
Here we go, bro. You and this.
Hey, so look how many Real players are on that starting 11 versus Barca.
Who won the league though?
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But if we're looking at the best 11 now,
Fran, they got knocked out.
I'm not
Yeah,
mad
but
with
you
it.
also
European
have
competition.
so one of those
That's
players
crazy.
you just got. So that has nothing to do with the players that's very new.
Facts.
I
no,
think
you're absolutely
I
right.
think that is
Listen,
a very
I think,
even
I think
team.
those two could flop. Bellingham and Pedri, whoever.
Interchangeable?
Yeah, very interchangeable.
You're too nice.
I'm not mad with it.
I do think
Too
Modric
nice.
is a staple in that.
Hey,
team.
okay,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
6'5". It's close. It's close.
6'5"?
Yeah.
When she said Pedri was better than Modric, I was just gonna.
I'm looking to the future. I'm not looking in the past.
You think Pedri could be a better player than Modric all time?
No, no,
Oh, that's
no.
Wait, why is that?
not?
Why is that
Why is
impossible?
that
Wait,
not?
first of all,
I
okay,
watched
he plays
what
for
you said.
Barcelona. He plays for Spain, who are looking to really turn things around. They have such a good young squad.
Golden boy.
Golden boy already. Like we've seen his capability, and how old is he? 21.
Yeah.
He has what? 15 years potentially. Like I think for you guys to say how could you is
Yeah.
No, I
Will
said
Pedri win a Ballon d'Or?
It's very tough.
bro. Modric winning the
Modric
Ballon
started
d'Or
balling
was
when
the
he was
dumbest
Come
thing
He was easily the best
Are you
player in the world
crazy?
in that year.
That was insane. That was the most like.
In the Messi Ronaldo era.
But he wasn't better than Messi or Ronaldo. Like it was the most. It was weird, and it
But
wasn't
why?
just
Why not though?
Yeah,
because he
I want
wasn't.
to hear
It's
it.
based on the best player in the world. He was not the best player.
Yeah, but are we going just to
He went because Croatia
the
went to the
World Cup,
World
bro.
Cup
I know.
final
I
and then
just
got
want to see the
absolutely
reasoning.
spanked by France.
They won nothing.
And then they went to the final again or the semi and they got spanked. Like they can't win anything. Don't get me wrong. I think he's one of the best midfielders we've ever seen in our generation. He also has so much class. He's so composed. But I think first of all, he wasn't the best player, and Pedri just has
I
so
think
much.
he's a top 3 ever. Modric.
Midfielders?
Midfielder.
Whoa.
Ever.
Top 3 midfielders.
Ever.
That's
You
crazy.
think he's better than Iniesta?
You think he's
Better
better
than
than
Xavi?
Xavi?
He's better than Xavi.
I have to
Better
leave.
than-
Better than Xavi. He's better than
I think
Xavi.
Xavi's better than Iniesta.
I think he's second to
No,
Zidane.
I like Iniesta better than Xavi.
I think he's second to Zidane.
What about
I
other
don't know, man.
midfielders out of?
He's up there though. He's like top 5 for sure. I think.
Yo, Matt, what
think he's
about
top
Lothar,
three.
bro?
There's
Yeah, what about
no
Lothar
way.
Matthäus, bro?
There's no way.
He's 3.
What about Julio?
Sorry?
Nah.
Players
No,
like
that's
that.
not on the
Not
top.
better than Modric.
Whoa.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's not.
Iniesta is
But
pushing
do
it though.
you think he's in top 5 or no? Like let's
Are
say
we
he's under
talking
Iniesta.
about La
Xavi.
Liga? Because I've
No,
yet
no,
to hear all the Italians from you yet. Because there's so many good midfielders that are
Yeah.
Italian.
I do think he's better than like the Pirlo's.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's
Pirlo and all
I
those.
don't know. You compared him to Zizou?
He's second to Zizou. Like Zizou is
I wouldn't even like those
For
aren't
me,
even
one
in
of
the
the
same
best midfielder
category to
ever.
me, and that's
I got a
not.
cool one for you guys.
No, I'm
Bench one, start one, and sell one.
Okay.
Between
Zizou, Iniesta, Modric.
Modric is gone. Absolutely. Sorry, you're comparing him to two of the best to have ever done it.
He is
It's
one
I'm
of the
not-
best
selling
I've ever done it.
Iniesta.
Whoa!
I'm benching Modric and I'm starting. It's a
That's
start.
crazy.
I'm starting
Zizou
Zidane.
number 1 easily.
I think everyone's starting Zizou, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm starting Iniesta. I don't
Oh,
Are you kidding me? This guy can see things, but you're also comparing like two very different type of players. Like in my
Oh,
opinion,
my Lord.
Iniesta changed football. Like him and Zizou are. Like why is Modric in, like I can't. This is my bigger concern is that it's two really
I
like
think Modric is bothering her more than Zidane.
yeah. Like if you were to
Modric
be
is-
like Iniesta over Zizou or the other way around, I'd be like at least we're talking on the highest of the high.
think Iniesta-
Iniesta not there yet.
no.
Wait,
just
what?
He could reach 2, but he can't reach 1.
He's won 2 trebles. He won a Euro World Cup and a Euro. He was
back.
Teams are unreal.
Back
what
to
the
back
hell?
to back.
It doesn't matter.
So what?
That's
the dumbest thing ever.
fault.
Okay, practical.
This stuff. He's
What did Modric
I'm wrong.
win?
I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I can't believe that anyone's actually talking
Nothing
poorly
with
about
Croatia. That's
Iniesta
not
right
his
now. Like
fault.
that's
No, I think
he's
it's-
one of
that's
the
not his
most
fault.
beautiful players to watch the game. Like he. Oh.
Oh, it's done.
Wow.
Iniesta, man.
God, it doesn't-
That's what you.
That's God saying Zidane for sure.
That's God saying Iniesta's second, bro.
My only argument is that okay, I'll give the leagues, the club teams to all of them. They obviously had all great superior teams with winning teams, treble winning teams, whatever it is you want to call it.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the national team, sure, Iniesta again, he still had a superior team.
Look at that
Zidane too.
2010 Spain
Zidane too.
team.
Zidane too. Superior teams in
Right.
France as well. Like those teams obviously were built to win trophies, not nationally and club level.
Right.
Now for Modric, for a team that again, a handful of players that are playing competitive soccer, like with competitive teams in that the Croatian side,
Right.
Modric carried those teams.
Absolutely.
Is that Croatia?
Wait, for Croatia,
Wait.
if we're talking 2018 World
Exactly.
Cup, Rakitic low-key carried Croatia.
Thank you.
If we're keeping it 1,000.
Also,
But also the-
Guardiola in the recent World Cup, like new generation coming through.
But also-
What's
but
about
again,
Modric
those are
anymore?
those are a handful of players that like are taking those teams to different heights.
But I don't.
How well did they do in the Nations League as well? Was Nations League they did well Croatia?
Didn't
Finals?
Croatia also
Yeah.
go to like penalties in like
Every
90
game?
minutes?
Okay, but end of the day,
For, like, 4
but what's
games.
my argument?
For
The
the
argument
games.
is that sure Iniesta, not that.
But Iniesta wasn't just a part of that
Bro,
really
Iniesta,
intense.
the
He
use of
was
the
scoring
wing
he was
passes,
one of the most
like,
important players.
How are you even?
He was
Like,
getting game winners.
Yeah, he got
this
the
guy
game-winning
scored
goal.
the game-winning goal in the 2010 World Cup. Had the Danny Conke jersey. Oh my god! No, this guy, the way he also connected with Xavi, with Messi, like those chips, those through ball, they call him the illusionista for a reason. This guy can see things that, like, I don't think it's not about talent anymore. This is some like God-given gift, and he is one of the players that had it.
So
And
you don't think Modric has a God-given gift to play
What's
soccer?
crazy to me?
I don't think it's on the same level as Iniesta. I'll be honest. It's not. I don't think that's
No,
fair.
no.
Modric started playing football at 28. Before that, he was
Not even.
Okay.
Not a Hotspur.
And his first season at Real Madrid, he was flop of the season by La Liga.
And
I think he's great, but you're just comparing him to like.
I'll
one
tell
of
you
the
this:
best.
there's a kid in Miami right now by the name of Taylor who played something that would say Iniesta couldn't play it in terms of passes to Messi the other day.
Right.
Wait, who's
Did you see that ball?
What?
But look at that ball! Look at that ball he played! Look at that ball he played!
That's an Iniesta type
standard, bro.
No, that's an Iniesta
No,
type pass.
it was not standard.
If someone said if Iniesta made that pass, no one would shut up about it.
For me, playing soccer for 17 years and you can make that through ball, even an MLS caliber player.
If Iniesta made that pass,
like
everyone would be talking about it. End of the day,
100%.
end of the day,
People are talking about the Taylor pass.
Okay, no, for sure. But if you made that pass, you would be talking about it too. But end of the day, who was behind that pass?
You're not
Lionel
wrong.
Messi.
Okay.
You're not
Right.
wrong. It was a
Messi
good.
passed to Taylor. Taylor passed back to Messi.
And then who finished that goal? So end of the day, yes,
Right.
some of the players that are playing around them make these players look obviously at a different level.
100%.
Because look at the
And
kid
Iniesta
before
was one
Messi.
of the players that made everyone around him look a lot better.
But
that
thanks-
is
but
who he
thanks-
was.
but
He did the
thanks
same
to-
thing with Busquets. Like Busquets, everybody says best CDM of all time, stuff like that. One of his assists was him receiving a pass from Messi, touching the ball, and just watching it. But he's the best CDM ever.
Fantastic assist, though.
Sure, when you play a ball backwards every single time, you can be the best CDM ever.
I understand.
But he is. No, I agree. But it's just like something like that. Like when you have Messi on your team, when you have a player of that caliber, once in a lifetime,
Oh, for sure.
sure you're going to be the
But
best.
I don't understand what you're saying about Taylor. That was a beautiful pass, 100%. Of course. But will he do that again? No. Iniesta,
no, that's not true.
But
No,
Iniesta,
that's not true.
Oh, come on. Iniesta's
Did
a
you,
player.
did you watch
Iniesta-
Taylor? Did you watch Taylor the previously? to
He's
the
been
Messi
phenomenal in the
signing?
league.
It's 3-4 games.
He's been phenomenal.
Iniesta's had a
Messi.
full.
Dude, he's got like
Before-
3 goals.
Iniesta had a
This
career.
I get what-
argument actually, like,
comparing
we're really
I
sad.
get what you're saying,
This is what we're
Dan.
doing.
Go on, go on.
Thank
Crazy.
you.
Go on.
Brandon,
Let me
no,
finish my
no, no,
point.
no.
I understand.
But I didn't finish my point.
I agree with what you're saying.
No, because my point can literally just stop your point.
Your point will stop your point.
Is that so?
Your point will not stop my point. Go ahead.
So,
My only argument is that some of these passes that these players make, when they have the players that are next to them that are providing and supporting and scoring the goals, obviously the shitty pass that De Bruyne passes to Haaland, some of these goals that will never be scored by anyone else. But
Right.
Haaland is the one finishing the goals. Obviously, these
Right.
passes scored by passes by De
Right.
Bruyne are like, oh my god, look, these passes are marvelous, they're beautiful.
Yeah, like
That's
how
not
many assists
true.
that
The
Iniesta has
passes
to
were
Messi,
so
where it's like, okay, if it's not
precise.
Messi, it's
they
not
were
going.
like
You know
to
what I'm
the
saying?
nearest degree.
Who?
The passes that Iniesta would make. Yeah, of course, you might have a Messi, a Suarez on the other end of it, but that ball would have never gotten there if it was a Modric, if it was a
Yes,
De
I'm
Bruyne.
sure.
It would no. You don't
If
understand.
Modric was
I
playing
think
next to Messi-
he made it look easy, and I think you are
If Modric playing next to
underestimating
Messi,
these
no,
passes. These little things are way harder than you think, and you're underestimating how precise he was.
You're estimating a lot.
I
by
can't
saying-
believe we're talking
you're
about
comparing
this
Taylor's
Iniesta
passes
right now.
to Iniesta's.
I'm not. I'm only the only comparisons that players that are put around these players. Like Taylor was before Messi. Who was he, right?
Nobody knew him. Not
Messi
Messi.
has
Nobody
an
knew
effect.
him.
Okay,
Nobody knew
so
him.
that's my argument. You just said it right now. Messi has the effect. So a lot of
Let me-
players
let
that
me
are
give
put
you my
around these
argument.
players.
Let me give you my argument. You're talking about a player playing in the MLS. And who's done it for 3 games? We're talking about Iniesta, who's known for doing this for his whole career.
But Dave, you're proving his
His whole
point, though.
career.
Dave, you're proving his point.
I'm not
though.
proving his point.
You are, no, because you're saying,
No,
okay,
no,
he's in the
I'm
MLS,
not.
he makes
Let me-
that pass.
let me tell you
But
why.
if Iniesta makes that better, everybody's going nuts on Twitter.
Iniesta's doing these passes against probably the best players around he's facing.
Right, no,
But
against
Taylor's doing
MLS.
these passes against MLS players.
But
But you
he's-
see that? The whole lineup went up front.
But he's an
by
MLS
himself.
player, though. You know what I mean?
But that's
He's-
my point. Iniesta's doing
Okay,
passes
let's get off
against
Taylor. Let's get off
world-class
Taylor.
players. And you're talking about
I just think,
Taylor getting
but
it.
you give Modric a Xavi, and look how much better he is.
I think
if not the same, he's way more superior than him.
Talk to me when a player like Taylor can do it for his whole season, his whole generation like
Don't worry
Iniesta.
about Taylor. Hold
I'm
on.
just saying, you can't compare it.
The argument is not comparing Iniesta to Taylor.
You're comparing these passes from a guy who's done it for a couple games to a guy who's done it his whole generation.
I got what you're saying.
Okay. I think they're both top 5. Okay.
Modric and
Now they
Iniesta.
both they don't play the same style of football. Like they're completely different players, even though they play the same position type thing. Like
Agreed.
Iniesta is someone that will not lose the ball ever.
Right.
He's
arguably the best runner with the ball, maybe besides Leo Messi.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like there's
he is.
his
He's up there.
technical ability is
insane.
His
It's
better
second
than
to
Modric.
none.
His close
I agree.
dribbling he's unpressable. You just can't get the ball. The difference with Modric is he's someone that's gonna slow the tempo down. He's kind of like a Xavi, but it's different. Like they're different players. You can't really compare the two and say.
Okay, so let's not. I don't think there's a winning argument.
There's not a winning argument. That's what I'm trying to say. There's not a winning
I
argument.
appreciate
They're
both
different.
of them.
Yeah.
But Modric is bad.
That's crazy. They're both top 5 though. I think.
Top three.
You don't put champion?
No,
I got
I think
Xavi.
Iniesta.
Wow.
No,
let's not. No.
Okay.
No way.
Xavi is
Leave it
Spain's
in the
best ever
past.
player.
Iniesta is better.
Let's stop.
I think
Let's
Let's
move
go
on.
back to La Liga because we're gonna go. I can feel it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so heated right now. I don't even know what to talk about.
I can tell, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Let's talk top goal scorer in La Liga.
Yes.
Yeah, who-
Okay, we'll go for that.
Go.
Well, I think if
Lewandowski last
Mbappe
season.
If
comes to
Mbappe
Madrid,
comes.
it's gotta be him.
There's so many ifs
But
around
it's, I don't know.
Mbappe.
Mbappe's not a Madrid player right now.
I'm worried about Lewandowski a little bit because his dip after the World Cup, a little worrisome.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Even
he
in
can
the
replicate that
preseason
form
games.
this coming season that he had early in the season last year. So I'm scared regarding Lewandowski, but he's still a world-class player.
I mean, yeah. You always gotta. He's always in that argument. I feel like whatever league he plays in, he's gonna be in that argument. I think either Liwa or I think Vinicius. Honestly, I think Vinicius is gonna have a great year for Real. I
think
feel like
he'll
this is
definitely
like,
give him a run.
especially now, like Mbappe's not on the squad right now, so he'll have way more chances at goal. I feel like he'll take
But
them.
my concern.
I feel like he
is-
definitely. I feel like he's gonna be.
My concern is I don't think he is gonna get more goals.
really? Why? No Benz?
of
Why is that?
Benzema.
Okay, wait.
Benzema was crucial for him getting those goals.
What about Jose Lu? No. Now stay with me. He was the fourth top goal scorer for last year with Espanyol. Garbage side. We hate
Terrible
them.
side.
Yeah, that's
hate
crazy.
them.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Rivals.
Hate them.
Terrible side.
Terrible side. Got relegated.
Right.
Now he's been brought to Real Madrid with a plethora of different players that have so much talent, and he's going to get the service. I understand it's going to be a matter of playing time, but we
100%.
know. Did you see that bicycle kick?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
The
ball.
man has skills.
But I think you just answered your own question. I feel like he's a type of player that's gonna get subbed on in like the 82nd minute every game.
Is he gonna start most games?
But what if he
Probably
starts
not.
scoring? Do they start bringing him in earlier? I don't
just-
think
it
he's
just
a full,
depends.
he's not a full
Benching
90.
Mbappe?
No,
Just no.
we can't talk about Mbappe. We don't know
No.
who's there.
No, right.
Bellingham might be the starter.
Well, Bellingham's been playing false 9, and if Bellingham's playing false 9, then Jose
Can
Luis.
Bellingham give it a good go?
No,
In terms of goals, nah.
no,
Goals,
no.
I think they have like converted wingers at that point.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be their wingers doing the dirty work up top.
But that's
Dirty
why
work.
I just don't see Vinny getting it. Benzema was a huge part to Vinny's success.
Yeah.
But Vinny was also a big part to Benzema's success too,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
So I feel like
So
at the end of the day, they still have that midfield. Real Madrid's midfield is unbelievable. I feel like Vinny, you can't complain about the service that you're about to get because it's obviously like they're the best in the world. I feel like personally, I feel like Vinny's going to challenge top goal scorer for sure. I feel like he can find some
I
top
can see
goals.
How about anyone else in the league?
Yeah, no other teams in the league, man. What about Griezmann?
Sorloth?
Why not? Yeah,
Sorloth.
Sorloth? Why not?
Depay?
No.
Maybe?
No,
Griezmann
Borja
came off with a great
Iglesias, I
season
think, will
last
be
year.
probably the closest.
Griezmann.
Yeah, Griezmann had a
Griezmann.
phenomenal year.
Griezmann.
He was second best player
Griezmann, I
last
think,
season.
will be
in La
more
Liga.
so
Yeah,
than
Griezmann.
Depay because I think he'll get more playing
I mean,
time.
Depay's, I don't know about Depay.
Depay, yeah, is he even gonna?
I don't know.
What's going on with Joao Felix? I don't want him. I don't think
No one does.
I kind of do want him.
want
No, you
any of
don't,
that.
bro.
I don't know what.
Seems like a brat, bro.
He is a
That's
brat.
crazy.
So was Dembele.
Yeah, and that's why I'm happy he's going. Go sit on Paris's bench and be injured. I can't. No.
The thing is, no one can do what Dembele does.
What?
We lost Dembele. I don't see like we're just connections or links to Bernardo Silva. Completely different player to Dembele. Not even close to what Dembele was. And I don't think we need another Bernardo Silva on our team. We need someone who can attack and be fierce.
They have Abde.
Are
Obviously
you
not
gonna
as
put
good as
so-
Dembele, but
you
it's
gonna put
I feel like
kind of mold.
I feel like the Barca fans.
Complete a lot of
I
dribbles.
feel like Barca fans don't know how much it's gonna hurt them losing.
Oh,
Dembele.
100%.
I feel
You
like-
know what
like
it
they
is?
lost.
it's massive.
It's a massive loss.
The thing is, though, it's also a way out of our wallets, though, because to be honest, the thing is, Dembele, when he came from Dortmund, fantastic, right?
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
with his injuries, we never really got the best of him, and it's one of those things that I wonder, was it just never a good fit? I could see him going to Paris and kind of popping off again.
So could I.
And I just think it was maybe that football players don't always mesh well with the team they're with, and that's just kind of the reality of the sport. But that we paid so much for him that it's a matter of like, if this is gonna help us maybe fill a couple spots, we have to do what we have to do, because it has not been worth it in the end. It hasn't, and that's just a matter. And also, if he can excel as a footballer, because it's his time now where it's either he's gonna start doing well again or his career is done. So he had to make that decision too. So I kind of understand it from
26, something like that.
I thought he was like 26.
Like 25, I think 26.
Something like that.
So I feel like he'd be happy in France though. You know,
But-
back home.
Dembele's gonna be a huge loss to us.
It is because like you had, back in the day when Messi was playing with him, you had him saying that Dembele was one of the best players he's ever trained with. So I feel like losing him is
Might be cap.
It was just
no way.
You might have to
He
say
is
it's
so
yeah.
skilled.
He is really skilled, but he also doesn't pass the ball.
He was so
I'm taking
unpredictable.
Messi's word. Like, I think he's phenomenal.
He was
I'm sure he's
unpredictable.
gonna be saying that about Taylor like in a few games.
No, but it's true. Dembele was unpredictable. Two-footed.
Very.
Was very direct.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he was doing. Very quick off the line.
He's very
He
rapid
was
too.
Just made out of glass.
It was that was just the thing. And what Jay would say, like, every time Dembele had the ball, like, he would get excited because he can. Of
course.
Either he does really good or he just.
But that's the thing. Didn't you find so many of the times he's running up the wing with the ball, hold it, still holding it. The guy's open in the middle, doesn't pass the ball. Like there were so many.
There were also times
I
where
found
he'd be
he was
cornered by
frustrating
three
sometimes.
defenders.
He would
and he's
either
not
play
getting
like
out of
this
here, but
beautiful
he's getting out
game,
of there.
or
You
he
know what
would
I mean?
ruin a play, and it was just like.
Too many cuts.
Though that's the thing, though. It's like that's what I find is the difference from him being fucking brilliant to him kind of being like he's good, but he could be so much better.
He was just too inconsistent.
Like-
It is.
Like
It is.
he
It's just
he needs
a matter
to for
of
himself,
inconsistency.
honestly. But yeah, maybe we'll see that at Paris. I don't know. He seems really unhappy at Barca. Xavi's pissed he's leaving. I don't know. Like it's a weird.
I mean, he
vibe.
asked to leave. Didn't he?
Well,
he asked
yeah.
Xavi to
Yeah, he
leave,
did.
right?
Xavi was trying
So
to. Like,
after
Xavi
Xavi
was
was
so much like
Xavi
us
didn't want him
and
to
open
leave.
him.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I just find it
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
disrespectful.
Now, okay, well, obviously you guys are the two best teams in the Liga.
Yeah.
Would you, if you guys were to combine a team, so I guess that team that you guys made before, would that beat the La Liga XI? Just those two teams
Oh
compared to all the
my
rest? Like you still have Atletico players in there, Sevilla
It
players.
doesn't matter, bro.
You think?
Easy. 100% smash. Yeah, at least smash.
5-6-0.
Not pass?
Madrid and Barca together beat all of.
Beat the rest of La Liga.
Oh, that's what you're asking?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
100%.
Yeah, I mean they're already
think so?
doing.
This would be a
No,
this
yeah.
would be a good question.
This is
if
a
you're asking,
combined
like,
team,
the
though.
Prem.
Like I asked him in the
Like, if you're
Premier
asking
League.
Man
In the
City
Premier
versus,
League.
like all of the
Yeah.
Prem together, that'd be a good.
Would that team win the Prem?
Would
The Barcelona Real.
Combined 11? Yeah.
Would they win the Prem?
Absolutely.
How would they not?
I'm just asking a question.
He's the only one that
They
we
win the
have to worry
treble.
about.
I'm just asking a question.
They're winning the treble. They're winning the World Cup. Even though they can't win it, they're winning it.
That'd be a cheat code.
I hope so.
You think?
I think they yeah.
But in terms of like playing La Liga's best 11, like no, I don't think.
I
It's
think
close at
Barca
all,
and Madrid just
really.
by
I don't
themselves
think
win
it's
Prem if they're in it.
Barca and Madrid probably by themselves for like the rest of time could win like everything possible. Like they've, like I said, this is what I mean with them being the two best teams in the world, the biggest teams. Like the way they just bring in talent. I think if you were to combine them, if you have a spot that Barca was like lacking, Madrid could pick that up. Like the thing is, it's tough. Like you can't ask these questions about like. I don't know, like who would give that team a run for their money? Maybe Manchester City this past
Yeah,
year.
and like
Besides that, no.
like I said before, like I feel like when Barca and Madrid make signings, they're trying to be better than one another. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
They don't.
Yeah,
like-
we know Madrid.
right?
Eddie there.
Like okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, no, we'll see.
That's just how it is.
I don't know.
Best 11. Though?
Wait, what do you? Okay, then I want
What?
to hear what you have to say. No, I thought. Were you disagreeing?
No, Spatty looked at the roster that we have here, and he's like,
I don't think
it's kind of mid.
I don't think it beat City.
Okay, fine. Wait, but besides
City right now?
No. But besides City, is there any other team?
Well, if La Liga were to make like a combined XI, maybe, but I don't know.
So you have Ter Stegen in net, Carvajal, Militao, Araujo, Balde, De Jong, Jude, Modric, Rodrigo, Leva, Vini.
Like the back four is I mean besides the two center backs, the left back and right back are like good. Their midfield is unreal, and then their front line's good. I don't like they have a good team, but I don't think they would be the best team in the world. Like
who would be better?
I think they'd beat
City. I think the City was.
I think
You
they'd
said
beat City.
Is there anyone else?
Okay, no, fine.
So that's what I said. I said maybe City, but City also is an insane team this year, and they won the treble.
It's only
I don't
City.
know
But so if it's only City, then that's not that bad.
It is, but like a combined X, I don't think should lose to anyone.
Because City basically does that anyway. So they
City-
take all their
Their
pieces,
team's
they put it
insane.
together.
I think one game. I think Barca Madrid beat them.
Yeah.
If it's one game,
Yeah,
not like an
Who's the
aggregate or
coach?
something.
Who's the coach?
Carlo?
That's a crazy question.
It's gotta be Carlo, right?
Carlo.
100%. Got the experience.
Best coach.
Yeah, some more experience.
Best coach ever.
Yeah,
You think?
Wow.
100%.
over the likes of Pep.
Guardiola?
This is a crazy.
Guardiola changed the Premier League
Oh, no.
and brought.
Uh-oh.
Did
No,
I
no,
spark a
that
really
was-
hot debate here?
No,
Yeah.
because that
Guardiola
like,
did it in
if
the-
you
in the
were like
Bundesliga too.
people that say Mourinho, I'm like I get it. He's played everywhere. He's won everything.
The thing with
like,
Mourinho is that I
I think
respect him
Ancelotti's-
so much because these 2-3 year stints that he does at clubs and he turns them around is
Yeah.
just unbelievable. I don't think any other manager can do it like what he does.
Yeah.
It's just tough. Like Sir Alex, Pep, Carlo, like they're all long term managers. They need to stay at clubs for 5-6 years, like 5 plus.
Yeah, but then they have eras with those teams, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. But I think Mourinho for legacy, I think.
Yeah, he's also, but he's like keen to hop around too. Like he's happy to
forever.
like,
He's been doing it
like I'm gonna
forever.
win. All right, I'm
Yeah.
leaving you guys. I want to go somewhere else. Like
Yeah,
he's
like-
like down to move around. I don't think everyone would be like, which is also fine. It's just like completely different type of coaches.
Right.
Yeah. I think Ancelotti and Mourinho are more so like just the cup winners. Like they're gonna
Ancelotti's
get you
won
a
5
cup.
leagues.
Pep
Right,
Guardiola
so
literally
yeah.
changes the game. Like
Yeah, but
it's-
that's what I mean. Remember when Pep went to City after Bayern and like the Prem was kind of in that dip after like Sir Alex left and all that, and then he literally made it competitive again, and then Klopp came and kind of hopped on that bandwagon, and the two of them like made the Prem like beautiful again. Like that's the thing. Like the way like I don't know, like
It
what he
depends on
does.
what your definition of.
Totally, that's a really good
Great
point though. The
manager.
way you summed it up, I think was
Right.
really good just there.
Yeah. So okay, one last question for me. Who has the best young core at Barca? Barca
Barca.
breeds them. Real Madrid signs them.
Barca. Barca. That's what we're known for.
okay.
This
Who's
is
in this
not
young
baby.
core? For Barca, it's Pedri, Gavi,
Balde,
Balde,
Ansu
Araujo,
Fati.
Fati.
Fati's not in.
Do we
Fati's
throw anyone else in there?
You can add the other young lad.
The one who scored. Yeah, Lopez.
You don't know enough about him yet.
Not yet.
He's
So
like
what,
he looks talented
I
though.
said Fati.
Well, the thing with like Real's got, we're just talking about just the core of the whole team.
Young core, yeah.
Vinny, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga. What am I thinking of?
Goulet.
Guler, Frank Garcia. Like it's just those 8.
That's
I feel like
pretty good.
The only reason I said Barca is because we raise our players.
Yeah.
Like there's some sort of like I don't know authenticity to them, and it's not that these players that you named. I think they are better than the players that I named.
yeah.
But we're not going out and buying them. We're raising them from the streets, and like
From the
that's the
streets.
thing. Like it's. I don't know. There's something like about like them coming from literally like the U10 Barca whatever team it through the Messiah and then into the club and then becoming maybe the next Lucy, Xavi, and Iniesta. We don't know, but like I don't know. When you think about like that, like young players, like I never think about like the players we buy.
Yeah.
I think about the players we raise because that's Barca mentality. But your players that you named are definitely better.
Yeah,
but it's a different mentality.
I get what you're saying, like raising from the academies and stuff like that. But in terms of like having the best young core, I don't think it's really close.
Yeah. The thing
Like
is,
believe me, Pedri, Gavi, they're phenomenal. Araujo, brilliant. Like I could see them being Barca players forever, for as long as they play. But the likes of Vinny Bellingham alone, like Vinny Bellingham, Tchouaméni, I think those signings are absolutely brilliant from Real, and I think in the long run it's gonna be amazing to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's more impressive when Barca could like nurture and develop these talents because anyone can buy talents if you have money, right? Of
course.
But it's more impressive when you actually develop these talents.
Yeah.
But Barca bought some of those guys too, no?
Not for hundreds of millions.
Well, they still bought them.
Yeah. Pennies.
Pedri,
Araujo,
Araujo.
few mil. Pedri,
No, but
few mil.
Gavi still, Ansu, Balde, all those guys came up through the ranks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
academy players.
Yeah, Madrid sell all their academy players.
Yeah.
Low key.
Martin Odegaard, how's that working out? That one sucks for you guys.
Okay, you guys got
But look at our midfield now. It doesn't really suck.
I don't think he fit into the team now.
I don't think he'd fit into the team now at
It's
all.
hard. It's hard.
like you were saying before, some players just don't fit
Yeah.
teams.
But they never really I felt like they just kept
Gonna give him a
loaning him out. Like he just kept bopping all over the place, and they didn't want to give him a chance. And then he went to Arsenal and became the captain in like
It's
2
the same
years.
with like Brahim Diaz. Like even him.
Are you
like,
happy he's back?
He's back. I love him. I think he's a great player.
Also, are you happy Danny Ceballos didn't go out? Because that's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Danny Ceballos. I'm not the biggest fan of him. So like I personally, I do not think he fits at Real Madrid at all.
But then why wouldn't they try and get rid of
They
him?
should,
Like
right?
make anything
I feel like
of him.
well, I feel like now like with these signings in the mid, like
Yeah.
he's just gonna leave. Yeah.
I forgot about Brahim Diaz. Now I'm thinking about it. Does he start over Rodrigo on the right side? If
No chance.
There's no chance?
So so Rodrigo's gonna get the start there, but when Arda Güler is healthy, does he get the start
Is he a
over
winger,
Brahim?
Personally,
I think he fits in that position.
is he more of a 10 or a winger?
Guler or
I think he could play on the
Guler's a
wing, but
10.
also has
He's
like
a 10.
an 8 or 10, right?
I don't think he could play 8. Guler.
Oh.
No. I
I don't think he
he's
can
just
play on the
10.
wing
Yeah.
either.
I don't. He can't play 8 because look at the players we have at 8. I also think like he may not even touch grass this year, considering the meniscus injury that he has.
Yeah, that's
And
so
plus,
tough.
and imagine coming back from that and trying to work your way into that squad.
Yeah,
with the
where are you
mids
guys
in
also
there,
going to
yeah.
be in the in that point of the season too? Like Champions League's going to be
Like
well on its
like, we
way.
don't
La
know,
Liga,
right? So like, again,
It's going hot.
yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough few months for him for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough for him to get into the squad, but I got faith. I love I love that signing. I think he's phenomenal.
I hate that signing.
I love
that
it.
signing too.
I love it solely. I love it solely for the fact that it's just a slap in their
It's
face.
legit a slap in the
That's
face.
such a
like,
Real
that's-
Madrid thing.
That's-
Doesn't care about the talent of the player. Says because it pisses off Barca that I'm happy.
Real knows he's talented.
This is a Madrid mentality.
That is getting a shiny
They-
new toy.
Yeah.
Mbappe next.
Oh, it's true. That's why
I hope not, man.
I'm mad at Aguilera.
I'm mad.
Madrid.
No, but that's
They
insane.
gotta
though.
cross arms.
No, it's true. It's insane.
It is. Like nobody knew he was going.
I don't know
he was going to Madrid.
Out of nowhere, bro.
Well, Barca does have another player coming in, supposedly, if the Brazilian, Roque.
Oh, Vitor Roque.
Yeah, but that's January.
But supposedly,
Well, yeah, supposedly with Dembele leaving, they
They're
have
gonna try-
a wage space.
Oh,
and
so
he
they
might
can bring
come
him
back.
in?
He might. But
Oh my gosh.
good understanding.
The
He's
transfer
18?
window.
or
yeah,
19.
I think he's 18, yeah.
The transfer window is so intense. Like
Yeah.
literally until the last hour. It's just.
This has been a good transfer window.
Right.
It's been nuts. Let's see what's happening with Kane and Mbappe, though. These are the two that have just been ongoing, and I'm just like, come on, just tell me. At this point, I'd rather just know. If Mbappe's going to Madrid, just tell me now. Like, this every day waking up, like, I'm sick. And
For
also
me, it's
Kane.
like, when's the day coming? Like, I
Yeah.
know
It's
it's
inevitable.
coming. Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's at some
Imagine
point he's
he
gonna
just
join
goes
the
to
club.
Saudi. Oh, I'd love for him to do that to you guys
For one.
twice.
Twice.
I don't know. You guys will be fine without him. Honestly, I think you'll be fine without
A
him.
lot of people says it'll ruin his legacy if he
If he
goes
goes to
there.
Saudi?
Even if it's just one season.
I don't know, man. Like, collect the bag, 770 mil, like whatever
Yeah,
they're gonna
it's
pay
not-
you.
it's not great.
Come back and play for Real, and that's it.
But does that ruin his legacy if he did that? If he were to do that?
I don't think
No, but like no one's gonna watch him for a year. Let's be honest. Like we didn't watch Ronaldo. We're not gonna watch him. Like we're gonna maybe
Hey.
see. We're gonna see a highlight, but I'm not gonna go out of here like my way to watch Koulibaly at like Al Nasser.
But
I'm
they're
good.
coming up in the
I
rest.
feel like
of that
TSN's
league.
gonna have more Saudi games than
So
Low-key.
that's
There's
gonna
a
be the
players
biggest
will-
thing.
Like,
It's
look
gonna
how
be
many
the first
players went
broadcaster
there.
who gets the rights to the Saudi league. Whoever wants to screw their whole like, whoever does that, that's gonna be the biggest way that like the Saudi league is gonna come through. Because until then, we can't find it anywhere. But honestly, I'm still not watching it. You're telling me Ronaldo and Al Nasser still can't even win that league? I'm so good. I don't need to watch
Al
that.
Saudi Mane too.
Oh
now
no,
next
still
season's gonna be
don't
harder.
care.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players going there.
The
Nope.
thing is, I
It
think
is.
it's what Al Ali that have like a pretty good front three.
Is that Benzema?
Mahrez, Firmino, and St. Maximin.
Yeah,
Better
that's-
front three than a lot of European teams, like Loki.
Yeah.
If I'm the Saudi league, I'm streaming it for free on YouTube.
That's what I was saying, bro.
Right.
They gotta do it.
They already make enough money.
Why
Get
not?
the views out
I don't
there.
Yeah.
I do not see Ronaldo playing with Mane.
What do you mean?
That's so wild.
Well, you're about to see it,
Just
bro.
two big players.
You're about to see it.
Keep it La Liga. Keep it.
Mane couldn't play with Salah the final years because of just hitting heads.
Yeah.
Clashing heads. Imagine him and Ronaldo. Oh my gosh. They're not gonna pass to each other. It's just gonna be like head down.
For me, I think Ronaldo's so much like past that phase though. Like Ronaldo's just collecting a bag at this
I don't
point,
think he cares anymore.
right? I think it's just he's just there for the money. Like obviously he wants to bring like a new spark to this league, but at the end of the day, he just cares about the bag. Like he's my favorite player ever. I love him to death. But at this point, like I hated that move to Saudi, to be honest.
It would have been better to go to MLS.
I think so.
Imagine Ronaldo,
Messi in the MLS. Yeah. North American sports just would have been unbelievable.
already gone LA Galaxy.
So, Ronaldo?
Yeah,
I think Galaxy.
I
Galaxy
think that would
or
be the only option.
LAFC.
Or LAFC. It's just one of those. It's one of those two.
Orlando City.
TFC.
No, Orlando City.
Imagine Orlando City.
They don't have pull like that. TFC.
TFC, bro. What you mean?
I don't know, but
Oh, they're terrible.
Don't open that can of
Don't
worms.
open that
It's
can.
a whole nother pod.
Seriously.
TFC's awful.
That's another pod. But yeah, like you were saying, this was our La Liga predictions. Let us know if you guys agree with us. But we need to see La Liga come back to its, hierarchy.
Make La Liga great again, bro.
Make La Liga great again with like Ronaldo and Messi. So we'll see if we see it next year. If you guys agree with us, let us know. And yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
It got really
Thanks
heated.
for having us. Thanks for having us.
It got really heated, but
Sorry?
Hit a Sui.
but yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And yeah, we'll see, man. Barca's winning it. I'm telling you right now.
Real.
He's got Barca. Ciao, ciao, boys. All right.